So here we are back on Titan. We have returned from our brief excursion into the wrong game, and we are back in a map called Frozen Ascent. Once again, there's a great MIDI going in the background by James Paddock. So in this map, we've leapt up the mountain through the teleporter, and we're moving up to the main lab now. The levels beforehand have been a mix of from different projects. Map 1 was from Project Romero, Map 2 was original, Map 3 was Route 50, Map 4 was Project Romero again. This one is Map 5? No, it isn't. I'm sorry, I don't know my own part. Map 5 was the teleportation facility, and that was an original level as well. This one is kind of an original level, but it's mostly made out of other levels from this project. Somehow, I pieced together a lot of different pieces of levels that didn't quite make it into other levels because I thought they ruined the flow, and most of them ended up here. So this is a sort of greatest hit of the B-side, whatever you want to call it. This is the main first room right here with the big computer tower. And this was originally built for the area behind the white teleporter, after you've gone through the teleporters in... Whoa. After you've gone through the colored teleporters in the transportation facility. But I thought it took far too long and was too much of its own level, so I made it the first half of this one. Oop. Oh. So this was constructed from roughly 1 million 3D floors, and I loved building this just as a complex thing, just building it up and up as I went. I was actually inspired for this by a video I'd watched on YouTube fairly recently before starting building this, which was a review of the Tomy, I think it was. It was a Tomy toy called Kong Man, and it was this marvelous mechanical thing where you had to guide a marble up a tower, and there were all these magnets and twirling things, and it was such an amazing physical little toy. And that's what I wanted to evoke here, just the maze of tunnels that you'd poke in and out of. That wasn't an experiment there, because I didn't know you could do this until I tried it. That's an entirely 3D floor, and you just raise and lower the floor and ceiling of the 3D floor, and you have a true 3D-ish object moving through your space in the Doom map. One of the first secrets is here. That doesn't appear anywhere else in the tower. Let's lower that, and we go around to the blue armor that we saw earlier. A lot of this is pretty annoying to climb up again if you fall down, to be honest. I should possibly have added a couple more checkpoints in it where you can just lift yourself back up again. Alright, let's go down there. And I've seen people get confused in this and go onto a lift and see it's lowered to the platform below them, and they'll get off and they'll climb up the same bit again that they've just climbed up, and then they'll go to the lift, and then they'll lower it down, and they'll step off, and they'll climb up the bit they've just gone up. Alright, first little... that section there's the first opportunity to get the plasma gun if you haven't reached the secret level. Or is it? I can't remember. This is great commentary, isn't it? I'm fairly sure that's your first opportunity to get the plasma gun. It's definitely the first one that isn't a secret. Alright, let's pull this switch, which raises that lift so we don't have to go through that entire tower again. Oh, which is just as well, because it just fell off. You can also open the front door, which gives you a little bit of a boost. You don't have to do the first section again. Up there, I finally worked out what subtractive light does. It's like a dynamic light, except it's dynamic darkness. So therefore you've got this little computer bank fading away into the distance. And there's a backpack down there if you haven't got one already. I think the backpack's a bit too much of a boost in Doom, honestly. I liked in Vulcan Inc. where I changed the backpack into an ammo pouch and you could pick up multiple ones and slowly upgrade yourself. I like that arrangement. Maybe I'll bring it back for some other games I do in the future. Maybe I'll finish Vulcan Inc. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, a little arena fight here. Nowhere near as difficult as I expected it to be honest. Should definitely been more aggressive with the monsters. I'm never quite sure how to do outdoor environments in Doom. Like I said before, I tried all these slopey floors and you know, to represent rocky ground, and it doesn't really work because you just skate about all over them. The physics don't really work all that well. So I mostly build them out of little hexagons now and just shake them up a bit, going up and down. This is the only place in the map in the whole game you can get the BFG. If you slip off here down to here, it's just in the corner down there. So that's an option for you if if for some reason you find this not easy enough already. You don't have to get the yellow key when you go up the top of the tower. You can just move on, but this is a bit of an ammo stash here. And if you look from the outside, I can't really see it from here. Let me just slip off down here. If you look from the outside, you can see that that is a door on the other side of that wall. So we're going to go up there and we're going to open it. Well, there might be an unprofessional sneeze coming. No, it seems to have passed by. This is going to make great commentary. Alright. Yeah, and snowy maps as well. I do like the frozen waterfall and the slight reflectedness of the ice here. It's just a sector property you can put in GZ Doom. But I don't know. It still looks really weird and blocky and Lego-y to me. I wasn't very good at making the icy outdoor areas, particularly as they're all white. You can't really make them look very interesting, or so I thought. Since I built this, I took a look at other people's NaNoWADMo entries, particularly NaNoWADMo, I think it was called, and that had some really nice icy, snowy environments in it. And I was kind of jealous of his ability. Okay, there's another little secret back here. There's a switch down here. It gives you not very much material reward, but it does give you a much better vantage point to finish off that Arachnotron. There are a couple of vantage point secrets in this map. Let's just go down here. Alright. Found an amazing pack of trees on Realm 667. They really, well, I was going to say spruced up the environment, not realizing the giga pun that I was about to make. Alright then. Now, that Revenant always surprises me because he's just at that exact right angle. He's just got a nuke just behind the entrance. Makes him very difficult to see. Alright, finally got rid of that Revenant that was on the central platform. Wow, I have severely fallen from my high of 170% health at the start of this map. Never have quite so much trouble with this map. Let's use some of the better weapons. Alright. So chain gunner up there to annoy you. Now there's a little secret at the back of here that not many people get. Alright. This wall looks a bit different as well. And now we've got a good point where we can finish off these monsters. Without having to be on a narrow ledge. I think I need to be less generous with the things I put in secrets. Sometimes it's okay to have just a little ammunition there, or just a slightly better vantage point than you would otherwise get in the main map. Because once you discover a few secrets, then you're absolutely loaded. You see the secret here? It's up there. Shootable switches are underused in Doom. I say that as because this setup for shootable switches is terrible in Doom. The precedent being the courtyard, where it's just used to confuse and disorient you, but if you have the right texture and the right setup for it, they can be really useful. Now, somebody said I didn't get this right as well. This becomes... Yeah, I suppose you're right. That looks a bit off. Some non-Euclidean snow here. Never been good at stitching indoor areas together with outdoors. Alright, so this area was part of a map for Route L50. It was going to be the start of the second episode, I think, and the route into a base. Can't remember where this actual base came from. It was either part of the same map or the one following it. Alright, so having that blue key in the secret lets us enter here, where we can charge ourselves up even more than we were already. And I've got to credit Bill Guy, but this is who I mentioned a couple of videos ago, because he did a once-over on this section of the map before this was part of Ascent of Titan, and he really did amazing things with these ramps and little details and dynamic lights everywhere. He's dynamic light mad. He'll shove 200 of them in the room, and it just looks spectacular. So oddly, there's a trap here that I never fall into, and I've never seen anyone else fall into either. That the lip of that platform above will collapse on you when you try to use it as a vantage point. I'll show you that with this. So I anticipated people coming out here and going, oh no, I'm in the room now. But it just didn't work that way in practice. Alright, oh, very important thing to do here. Let's go down here first and take out this archvile. Yeah, it's not my day. I'll have that as well. Because if you don't take him out, he wakes up when you're here, and he goes around reviving everyone and then shooting flames at you, and makes your life incredibly difficult. I think this was one of the last rooms I did when I was making Ascent of Titan. This was all really boring. It was this texture, just all of it, the steel walls. And I was desperate to spruce it up a bit, because it had meant to be a very grey, very drab future kind of base. It was meant to be really dark as you ascended the mountain, but it just looked really boring. You can still see it. You can still see some of that style here. It doesn't look good. All right, let's save here because we are about to have our second encounter with the boss. Here he is, and he's still got that immune little text that comes up. This part was. You can probably tell just by looking at it. It was inspired by the start of Metal Gear Solid, where you have to just run around waiting for the lift to come down before you can escape. It's a bit of that and a bit of the fight against, what's her name? Fortune in Metal Gear Solid 2. The heavily armed goth poet. And this is... I don't know about people who don't have chronic anxiety, but this is kind of frightening to me, just the idea of being stalked, trapped in this warehouse, being able to hear this giant monster that's going to get you behind you. Alright, the lift's finally come down. It takes about 30 seconds, and then you can lift yourself up. And that is the end.